Okay, we're going to show you how to quickly add snow and then how to make your first animation. So I showed you quickly yesterday. I'll just go over it right now. You're going to want to change to the top view. Come over here, and under standard primitives you're going to want particle systems. And there's your snow. And then you just draw your box over your snow. So go back to your perspective view. And just like everything else, you can adjust your snow. I can adjust its width and height. You can rotate it a little bit if you need to. I'm going to add lots of snowflakes. And if you move this bar, you'll see what they look like. So I need it to come a little bit further, so I'm just going to move down a little bit, and I'm going to rotate it up a little bit like that. So that's going to make it look like it's snowing a little bit better. Okay. So these things you can play around with. Life, that's how long one snowflake is going to last. So I'm going to make it last about 20 seconds, so it comes down a little faster. Again, I don't want red snow, I want white snow. So here's like your VCR button, so if you just play it, you'll see what it's snowing. So play with your snow, make sure you're happy with how everything looks. Okay, remember those black ones are just because of the lighting, which is fine. But I'm going to make my snowflakes just a little smaller. It's a little bit better. I'm even going to add just a little bit more, make that 5,000. Okay, perfect. So now what I want to do is I want to make a movie. So down here is your timeline. You can see you got 100 frames. Well, typically in a movie it's 30 frames per second. So going from 0 to 30 would be 1 second. That would be 2 seconds. That would be 3 seconds. So my movie would only be 3 1/3 seconds. So we want to last a little bit longer than that. So we're going to click on this button here, the time configuration. And instead of our length being 100, we want to make the length 300 seconds, or 300 frames. So now that's going to give me a nice 10-second animation. So what I want to do is I want to render it with the snow falling on my castle. So I click rendering, render setup. And remember, you want to make your width 19 by 20 and your height 10 by 80 or 1080. And instead of single, we want to do active time saving. We want to do it for the whole time. Then I'm going to pull this little bar down, and it says render output. Well, I'm going to click on save file, and I need to create a file. So I'm going to save it to my desktop. You should save it to your H drive. And you're going to save it as your first name and then castle, and you want to save it as an AVI. Hit setup, and you want to make sure that you go with the proper encoder, which would be I would go with DV encoder. Actually, let's go with MPEG. We'll see what happens with MPEG. Some of you are going to have different ones. Okay, you're going to have different compressors. If you see one that says Adobe, do not use it. Adobe will, and 3D Max don't like each other. So actually I'm just going to go with that one. And so then I'm ready. I'm going to hit save. And now I'm ready to render my video. So I'm going to click on render. and then it's going to make each frame. So you can see here it's counting how many frames, so it's going to make 300 frames. So I'm just going to pause this for the time being while it makes my 300 frames, and then I'll come back just before. Okay, you're going to see I'm at as you can see long. Okay, we are almost done here. A few more frames to go. And we're done. So then I'm going to minimize this. I'm going to find there is my animation that I just made. I'm going to double click on it. There's my snow falling on my castle. My first animation. Woohoo! Congratulations. Well done. So then what you're going to do is make any adjustments that you need to make, and then you're going to hand in your AVI file, and you're going to hand in your Max file. And what I would like you to do also is, under render setup, make me a single. Make sure you turn off save file, because you don't want to override your AVI. And I would like you to do a render. Save that picture. Randy Castle. And you're going to save it as a JPEG. I've got my AVI, I've got my castle, and I have my JPEG, those three files, and you're going to be handing those three files in for me, hopefully on Thursday. If not, we will get it on Friday. Okay? Well done. Hope this helps.